WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Donnainson for Can We Talk About It? I'm just glad to be here. I just thank you guys for tuning in. I want to give a shout out to my husband, who's the love of my life. I thank him so much over, through the week. My sister-in-law had passed, and she was like my best friend. And I'm feeling a little down because of that, but the show must go on. So one thing I want to talk about, before I do that, I want to give my granddaughters, Amber and Raquel, I love you guys so much. Give them a shout out. They are wonderful young ladies. They grew up to be beautiful young ladies. So I wanted to give them a shout out. And at the end of the show, I have some baskets that I want to show you for Mother's Day, and I'm going to I'm just going to put them up and give you all the information that you need to get in touch with this person so you can maybe pick a basket up, because they're very beautiful baskets. So these are just my experiences when I come on the show, that I talk to you about the things that I researched, the things that, from my perception of the things that I researched, the way I see them, not unless someone else has a more enlightening or reasonable aspect or answers to the things that I do, and I'm open to that too. But I actually want to talk about my sister-in-law passing for a minute. And if you have an in-law that you love, that you really, really love, and they have siblings that's narcissists and jealous and whatever, if by all means, if you can go around them to get to your sister, I'm going to call her my sister. She was more than a sister-in-law. Her name was Joyce, and I loved her. And her sister is a pastor. This is just my experiences. And I was called, and I'm going somewhere with this. I was called. I knew that my sister had pancreatic cancer. She ended up moving to Las Vegas, and she had cancer before she left. When she got out there, she was diagnosed once again with pancreatic cancer. And her sister, who's a pastor, had called me. And I don't believe in women pastors. But she called. She was telling me that my sister-in-law, they had her in hospice or, whatever. And I decided that I'm going to get on a plane and go be with my sister. So the pastor, was telling me, no, you don't have to go. They called today and said that she was getting better and this, that, and the other. So, me, when it comes to people I love, I'm very emotional when it comes to the people that I love, and to know that my sister was sick, it really bothered me. And I was still gonna make plans to go out there. So I'm asking this so-called pastor, would she pray, for me, pray with me? She's so narcissistic. She's trying to hold a Bible school with me on the phone. I don't mean she's on the phone while she's conducting the Bible class. She's trying to start one up with me and her, and I'm trying to put my head around what was just told to me. Anywho, she never prayed for me, And I just cut her to the quick and told her I had to process this and hung up on her. Meanwhile, this heifer gets off the phone and makes arrangements to go and get on the plane to go see our sister. And our sister dies and she don't tell me anything. So to Miss Valerie Simpson, you are an evil woman. This is just my thoughts and how I feel. Anytime you're so, and I'm speaking for narcissistic people, and she's in this category to me. Anytime you're supposed to go and see someone who's dying, and then you put all out on Facebook, look at the beautiful view of the bay. Look, you just a devil. No sympathy, no emotion. You know, there's people that has this Munchausen syndrome. And every time something happens, they want to be the center of attention with it all. If you have someone that's an in-law and you love them, don't do like I did. Don't take somebody else's word and sit and wait. Go see your in-laws. Go see people that you love. Like I said, she wasn't just an in-law. She was my sister. And I loved her. And this woman snatched that away from me to be able to go see my sister for the last time. So I'm just letting you know, if you have people that you love, don't listen to nobody else. Just if you can afford to jump on the plane and go and be with them, go be with them. I mean, I have a niece, and her sister died, and the same narcissist jumped all up in their family and went and told the hospital that this girl wasn't in her right mind and took over. This person is a mess. She's a hot mess. I don't know what her problem is. I don't know why she feels like she has to be the center of attention. But today, sister, you are the center of attention. You are a narcissist. That was an evil thing you did. And you still got time to get your life right with God because you are not supposed to be a pastor. That's a shame. People have all these accolades and they still going to hell. And they still as evil as they've always been, because I've always known this woman to be this way ever since I was 13 years old. I'm just telling you my experiences and the things that I go through and went through this week. I loved my sister-in-law. If you love somebody, don't let nobody else tell you, don't go. Wait. Don't wait. Go make sure you say you give your last. Just make sure you go and be with the people that you love. Because some people are so jealous and evil. They will literally talk you out of doing something that they know could be good for another person. There's a lot of people, and I know some of them, that then passed away because somebody else was coming in between them and they did not get a chance to say their goodbyes. Hi, Didi, I love you. This life is too short to be listening to a bunch of narcissistic witches, devils and demons out here. When your heart tells you to do something, you go right on ahead and do it. I just had to get that out. I know there's a lot of people that go through things with their families, like I went through things with my family. Now I had to go through something with my in-law, as far as my sister-in-law, the one I told you was a pastor. I'm not married to her brother anymore, but me and my sister-in-law Joyce, we've been knowing each other since we was 13. We thick as thieves. No matter where she go, we talk. She was my sister. She's the sister, even though I have sisters, she the sister that I've always wanted. And she was the sister that was good to me. And just because you have family members that's not good to you, don't mean you can't find somebody and call them a family member and they can be good to you. We're so stuck on this family. Family will hurt you sooner than a dang on piano falling on your head somewhere. If you got somebody in your life that you love, and it don't even have to be your family, and I'm going to go as far as this. If you got a messed up, jacked up family like mine that acts like, you know, they don't have to be around you, which that's fine with me because the Lord usually take people out of your lives for a reason. But if you got a family like mine and then you end up having a great sister-in-law like the sister-in-law I just left, don't worry about these other bums that's not around you. You worry about the people that love you. Rest in peace, Joyce. Rest in peace, Joyce Hodges. So, on another note, I want to talk about something that happened to me. Actually, a couple of things that happened. I'm going to be really quick with this first one. We have to stop going in places like Kroger's and allowing Arabs, people of non-color, whiteouts, whatever you want to call them. I mean, just my opinion. You're going to have to start talking up against these people. Because what affects one person in that community, that store you go to, it affects all. So I'm in the store. This lady, and the reason I'm going to tell you, first I'm going to say this. There was a man that went in Kroger's maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. He ate a peanut. One peanut. Kroger's called the cops on him and had him arrested. I believe it was on the news. It could have been longer than that. So I'm in the store last Thursday, which was the day that I found out about my sister-in-law. And there's an Arab woman in there, and she plucks a banana off the little bunch, proceeds to open it and give it to her daughter. Now she's riding her daughter around, and she's eating the banana. So I asked one of the stock people, is that legal or illegal? Can she do that? And he seemed like he was kind of miffed with her too. So he was like, no. So I'm like, I'm going to get the manager. So I go to get the manager and let her know that there's a woman in here feeding her child and she hasn't paid for her food. So she asked where she was. So I'm like, I'm going to find her. So I'm asking her, why is you letting your child eat the food? So she wants to get smart. So I take a picture of her and the baby eating some food. So she's like, you can't do that. All these cameras around here with you, better leave me alone. Yeah, I can do that. You're in a public accessible place. Your image can be taken. So I proceeds to walk back to the manager, and I guess she called herself running up on me, and I bust her. Like, because she's walking like behind. I can hear something running behind me because I've heard it like that before. So I know somebody was about to do something to me. So I kind of like bust her and knocks her away. So she proceeds to want to try to run up on me. And the manager is holding her. So I'm like, ma'am, please let her go. Please let her go. So the lady did like this, let her go. And the lady started backing up. She's telling me this ain't your store and you're not the manager. Hunty, this is not your store either. You can't take my picture. I can't take your picture. So she keep trying to itch up. I told you, walk up on me, you're going to be on your back, honey. Don't walk up on me. And this is what I mean. When you see these people doing wrong, you supposed to tell on them like white people going. And that's how they do us. They will smile in your face and then go back and tell on you. So that's what I did. So she proceeded to say, you're making my baby cry. I didn't run up on you. I wasn't being violent. You're making your baby cry. As a matter of fact, I don't really care about the baby crying because our black children cry every day. And that's what I told her. Are you going to help them? Our black children cry every day. Whatever you eat and you don't pay for it, taxes go up, and then we're all responsible for that. The manager ends up calling security because now I'm about to walk up on her. Security comes. This, in my opinion, this coon comes up. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of it. He could have been no more about 32, 33. I'm gonna take care of it. I say, you're not gonna. First, she put her hands on me, and she's eating food and not paying for it. I'm going to pay for it. She says she's gonna pay for it. That's what I mean. Entitlement. They can walk around and eat up half the store and won't go to jail. But let a black man eat a peanut, and they're gonna arrest him. So, brothers and sisters, when you see this, you call it out. You call it like you see it. Just like I said in the store, what applies to one should apply to all. You ain't nothing special. In your country, they cut off hands for doing stuff like that. But you want to come over here and act like you entitled to something. I think not. I think not. When you don't stop these people from doing that, our taxes go up. They treat excuse me, they treat some of the black employees there in Kroger's really bad. I'm actually thinking about doing an expose on them. There was one young man that there was an Arab man. He had an Arab manager, and the man was so mean and nasty to him. He was telling me one day was a piece of paper on the floor, and it was basically under this man's foot. And he called the brother over there and pointed down and told him to pick up the paper. How dare you? He said he was so upset he ended up quitting because of this. So my brothers and sisters, when you come in there, you let these young brothers and sisters that's working in these racist stores know that you appreciate them and you're for them and you love them. Because every time I see injustice done on my people, well, my people come first. But if I see injustice done, I'm going to speak out on it. I wouldn't care if it was an Arab, a Chinese man, or whatever. But it's always our people nowadays. Always our people. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not anti-anything. I'm just pro-foundational black Americans. And speaking of foundational black Americans, I was in a certain setting. And I don't know if this person is from Nigeria or where they were from, but they just bust out on actually on a platform they really shouldn't have said this on, and was like, you know, black Americans are so entitled. What? Excuse my French, but what the hell do you mean so entitled? We were getting beat, lynched, jumped on, mauled by dogs back in slavery days, back in the 60s, and even now today. They just put into effect the Emmett Till bill, which is the anti-lynching bill. In my opinion, why is they don't need to lynch you. They can just shoot you down like a dog now. But for this man to say that foundational black Americans are spoiled, you need to stay in your lane, bruh. You left your destitute of a country to come here to seek a better life. And if it wasn't for us black Americans and the immigration bill and Stokely Carmichael and people like them fighting for your rights as well as our rights, you would not be here today getting fat, enjoying the comforts of America. How dare you stand in front of a bunch of Americans and tell them they're spoiled? All of the stuff they had to go through, all of the racism, still going through it right now. All of the killing and lynching, still going through it right now. How dare you? If you don't like America and if you think Americans are that bad, why don't you go back to your little destitute country? You fled your country to come here for a better life. Now you're like black Americans. I'm going on vacation to Nigeria or wherever you're from. But you'll never move back there. I bet you that. Now you done got a little taste of honey after drinking vinegar for I don't know how many years. People, my brothers and sisters, oh my goodness. These are jealous folks who probably wish they had grew up in the United States and don't know what being a black person growing up in the 40s, 50s, and 60s really was all about. It was like that in the 70s. It's just that they came out with this love child and this LSD and all this stuff, and white folks wanted to be so loving and kumbaya and this, that, and the other, and people start to get to know it, and that's a shame to say that, but through marijuana and LSD, the blacks and whites got together and started getting to really know each other. After the 70s went away, then the 80s came. White people started getting a little more stiff neck. I guess because the 70 children started dying out. But meanwhile, we still had these old politicians that was growing up with a great grandfather that had slaves. They were around when black people were slaves, and they miss the old days. So the 90s come, and the Rodney King, and but I can't remember that guy that they pulled out the truck, but they did the tit for tat on that one. 2000s came, they go back to lynching. Now they want to steal our organs. They're telling black women you need a hysterectomy and you don't, and they're using your uterus to put in black women or to get the melanin out for black women to have children of color. Look it up. We're so quick to listen to our doctors and my black sisters saying that you need a hysterectomy. 8 times out of 10, you don't need a hysterectomy. You don't. We need to start paying attention to what's going on around us, especially what our white doctors say to us. Even some of these black doctors, in my opinion, which are coons. Now, I have to say this, and I'm not having respect to persons, but I love my heart doctor, Dr. Glazier. I think he's a Brit, but he's a good doctor. He takes good care of me. He lets me know what's going on, and the stuff, when I go behind him and research, is all good. We got to start going behind people and researching things. We got to stop letting these people that come in here from the islands, man, and they come in here and start gangs in places like New York, Florida. You don't think there's Haitian gangs? You don't think that people from the islands, a lot of these people that come over here, they do a lot of these crimes, and they're just lumped in with black folks. They're just lumped in with us because they're black. Then they say it's black Americans, and it's not. So, my brother, before you start talking about how spoiled black folks are, you need to do your research. And if another black person on this earth don't want to work, they shouldn't have to. The man that stole all types of royalties, all types of patents, everything from us. You ain't came over here and helped us do anything, but you're reaping the benefits and the blood, sweat, and tears from our ancestors in the fights they were in, the fights we were in. Don't be deceived, sisters and brothers. The fight is still going. Hold the vote. Do not vote for these people because they don't care for you. If we don't get something we can see before they vote, then don't vote. Our votes are very important, but there's a lot of you house Negroes out there that's going to be like, I'm going to vote anyway. And you are the Negroes that keep the whole nationality of foundational Americans down. This woman they just put in, she was a judge. I don't know, I can't remember who she was, but she's not from the United States. Most of these women that they're putting in office are not even from this country. But then you look at them and be like, oh, we got another sister. These Nigerians don't like you. And why do you think the plantation is putting them in the house like that? Because they don't like you and they know they're not going to fight for you. Everybody talking about Miss Kamami. Oh, she's the best thing since sliced bread. No, she ain't. She told you she wasn't going to do nothing for you, and she kept true to her word. In my opinion, it seemed like when this woman get on on any type of platform. She talk like she drunk. She slurs her word, and this is who y'all voted for. Because when I vote, I put my name in every box. Every box. I can't do no worse than the people that's in office now. I'm getting tired of people coming over here saying that black folks are lazy. Black folks don't want to do nothing. Black folks are spoiled. You wasn't here, and I know what I'm saying. You wasn't here fighting, not now fight with us. Because the fight was to bring you over here. Then you get over here and act like you the one. And you're not. You come from dust, fleas, flies, lights, and all of this. But then you want to come over here and act like you Mr. Big Stuff or Mrs. Big Stuff. How dare you? I was very offended when this brother said what he said, but because of the setting that we were in, I was always raised to be respectful to whatever position or whatever setting that we're in. But I'm not in that setting right now, and like I said before, if we don't start putting people in their place, if we don't start speaking up for what's going on in our neighborhoods or even the stores that we frequent, if we don't start doing that, they're just going to bamboozle right through us. Why you think they get a chance? They feel so entitled because we vote for the people they want in there. Your vote matters. And when you don't vote, it matters. Because if you don't vote this year, next year they're going to be coming to us asking us, what do you want? The HR 3, reparations. We've been talking about reparations. I think they've been talking about reparations, for the last 5-6 years or 3 or 4 years now. And guess who's going to benefit? All of you foundational black Americans, even you lazy ones that don't want to lift a finger to break out and say, yeah, we need to do something about this. Yeah, I need to hold my vote. If you don't stand for something, you're going to die for anything. Now, I don't get why it's so hard for this to sink into my people's heads, but our votes matter. And if we don't vote, it's going to matter all that much more. LGBT, the Asian community, Chaldean community, all these people, they hold their votes. This may be the last time our votes ever really matter, because once they start bringing all of these people over here from wherever they're, Russia, the Ukraines, once they bring them over because they're trying to get their white numbers up. Once they bring them over here, our vote's not going to really matter that much because we're a melting pot. I mean, all the immigrants, I mean, if somebody really wanted to infiltrate this country, they can do it. Because most of their people are here. And we got these presidents who think they know everything with their nose all up in the air. They're so busy talking about how much they hate us when they're about to implode on the country, and there might be a World War III from inside our country. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm letting you know things are going to start getting a lot worse than they will good if we vote. If you hold your vote, if you don't vote, you're going to start seeing changes for black folks. Like I said, Michael King, I had a dream. Yeah, he had a dream. Not we had a dream. If we don't do something right now, we may not never get a chance to do anything. So on that note, I love you. And until next time, stay strong and be strong.